everyone, thanks so much for tuning into Sims Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So today we're going to be reviewing Things We Never Said. So if you watched my TBR video, you knew that I was a little apprehensive about this book for a lot of reasons. First, they're calling it a sexy suspense. I just have a lot of misgivings about that because this book is considered young adult, and I understand you're trying to broaden, your market, and I think it's really good that a lot of people recognize that young adult books are not just for young adults. You can be someone in your 30s or even a grown man in your 50s and read young adult. I say that because I had an uncle-in-law. He read my book club with me, Heartless Hunter, and he absolutely loved it. So, I think it's really important that people kind of get rid of that stigma like, oh, young adults only for teenagers. No, it's not. I get grown women who come into the bookstore all the time who are just like embarrassed and bashful if they're in the young adult section. Like, no. Do not let anyone stop you from reading what you like. Just don't do it. So I understand the marketing tactic behind the book. I don't honestly approve of it because you also have to remember a lot of teens and tweens are in that young adult section. And it's a really touchy subject. It's all at the parent's discretion. And me as a parent, I think I would comfortably give this book to my daughter when she is 14 going on 15. It does deal with some mature themes, but these are also themes that I think she should be aware of, like recognizing what grooming behavior is, and recognizing what abusive behavior is, and recognizing what a toxic relationship is. These are things that I wish I had recognized when I was younger. So I think it's important that we open up that room for discussion, which is another reason why I love that moms and adults are reading young adult. It's like, these are the books your kids are going to be reading. Please be aware of the content in them. Do your research and make sure that you are there for your kids when they have discussions. So I do think I would comfortably give this to my daughter when she's 14 or 15. I would comfortably. But another one of my apprehensions was the book is saying it's perfect for people who love Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover and her themes are very, very much adult and very, very much mature. I don't think I'd give them to my daughter at 14, 15. I'd wait until she was 17 before she reads Colleen Hoover. So that's where another one of my apprehensions get, like, okay, how mature is this book going to be? I get where it's coming from, marketing standpoint, but I was very apprehensive because of that. And this isn't normally something, obviously, if you follow me, you know that this is not a book that I would normally read. I mean, occasionally I do. I did like it. I will say this. I did end up enjoying the book, and I would, again, comfortably give it to anyone who's 14, 15, and please make sure that you are there to discuss some of the heavy things that are in this book, I do think it was very emotional. It is an emotionally charged novel. I could have probably blown through it in a day if I'd wanted to. It is emotive. And it does, again, deal with, themes such as neglectful parents, drunken parents, and I think it really puts into perspective what it's like to be a teenage girl and have grown men leering at you and how uncomfortable that is. And finding kind of that safe space to talk to an adult about it. It discusses all of these things in a really emotional way, but also in a relatable way. It's a book you can use for a book club setting. And in fact, I would encourage parents and teachers to maybe collaborate on how to bring this into a book club setting for schools. because it helps recognize, anger management, and it helps you recognize what exactly is abusive behavior and what is a toxic relationship. It helps you recognize so many of these things. I think is really important for us to be discussing, and that's why I like the book, because of that. And it goes through 3 different perspectives. You have our 2 main characters, boy and girl, and then you also have Haley's diary entries. Now, Haley's diary entries, that's where a lot of the adult and mature content comes in, but it's not explicit. It is in no way, shape, or form explicit content, which I do applaud. You can tell an emotional story without getting explicit, and I do enjoy and applaud when authors do that. Another aspect of the book that I liked were the diary entries, because they helped raise that tension in the story, and they had you looking in a completely different direction than, like, there was a double plot twist at the end. Double plot twist. I was just like, holy, I did not see either of those coming. Plot twist A and plot twist B, did not see them coming at all. I was thrown. I was looking over here and things were coming over there, and I was like, huh. And then when you think hindsight, you're like, oh, okay, makes sense. But it was really, it caught me off guard, but it made sense for the story, and I really did enjoy that aspect of it. So overall, I really did like the story. I do think parents, please pay attention to what your kids are reading, because TikTok is making fast fashion out of books. I get a lot of, it's really scary, I get a lot of teens and tweens younger than 14 who want to read books like Haunting Adeline, or the Twisted Love series by Anna Huang, or the Addicted series by Richie, and I'm like, these are really, really adult content books and not really appropriate for you. But it's also not my place to say that. It's your parents' place to say that. So I really do think that parents, please be aware of the content that your kids are absorbing. I'm not saying censure, but I'm just saying be aware, and if you're okay with your kids reading this, that's perfectly fine, but make sure that you have a discourse going on with your kids. That way, if there's something in the book that they feel like uncomfortable about and they need to discuss, they can comfortably come to you. So this is one of those books where I'm just like, parents and teens, be aware. It does deal with mature themes, but I do think they're mature themes that young adults, no younger than 14, can really grab onto and really learn something from it. I will say that you can learn something from this book. You can learn to recognize bad behavior, and you can learn to empathize as well with other women and young girls. So it was really good. I really did like it. I would give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Solid 3.5. So on that note, PSA. I felt like this was more of a PSA than an interview, and I do apologize for that. But PSA aside, thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your book loving friends. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.